right here, so. Oh, we topped it. He cold topped it. Okay. Better get up. Yeah. 8 iron. Oh, we shanked it. Oh, look at that line, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, is he on the sink.
Welcome to the Bogey Boys podcast.
You're joined here by Kevin and Mark as always, and we've got Gabe Coyne here from Stix Golf. How are we, brother?
Good, great to be here, guys. Excited to have a chat with you.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you taking the time to speak to us, as we do all our guests. So, CEO of Stix Golf, how did that all come about?
So Stix came about as an experiment to see if there were a lot of people out there that felt the same way as the guys that I golfed with, which was a bunch of guys who were rocking 20-year-old sets, golfing at municipals, playing 9 holes at a time, and playing a handful of times a year, because that's kind of what our life allowed, and that's about what we could afford. And as we were golfing more, we were like, okay, we should probably get some new stuff. We're playing enough. We're getting a little better. Maybe this 20-year-old equipment's starting to hold us back. And as all of us went into the golf club purchasing process, we all were thrown off by every aspect of it. It seems overpriced, seems overhyped, seems overdesigned, seems overcomplicated, including the purchasing process. I need to pay a professional to tell me what the heck to buy. Like, this whole landscape seems out of control. And so we just imagined the world we would want, and then we went to see if anybody else felt the same way. And the world we wanted, and this group was a group of people. I'm a designer. There was another industrial designer and an e-commerce guy. All kind of millennial consumers, love direct-to-consumer brands like Meeson, Harry's, Casper, Allbirds. These are like the brands that this group buys, loves. This is how we shop. We like to go find the new up-and-coming brand that's going direct-to-consumer, that's beautifully designed, very minimalist design. And we're like, man, where's that brand for golf? It seems like all these old brands that just keep making the Gillette play, trying to just push that price up higher and higher every year by selling tech, right? This year's more technical and better performance than last year. Every year, that's the message. Even these interviews typically start with, hey, we want to hear Stix' unique tech approach, what you're bringing to the table for golf. What's your new technology? And people typically enjoy our spin of like, that's not the play. This is not a latest, greatest technology play. And they're like, whoa, that's different. What's going on? So back to the story, we said, okay, what we would love is a set of clubs for under $1,000, a whole set, everything, all the good stuff. And we want high quality materials, minimalist design. So let's see if anybody else wants that. So we set out to run a bunch of digital ad experiments to see if there was a group of people that felt the same way. And over again, the idea validated. And we learned some things along the way. We actually initially said, maybe we should be a style play in golf, a pure style play. Let people kind of create a unique set. You think about some of these sneaker options you have now. You can go on Nike.com and pick the color of the laces and different parts of the shoe and kind of make it your own. Like, what if you had that for golf and you could pick your head? It was all the same base tech, but you could pick your head color, shaft color, grip color, kind of choose if you want rubber or leather grips. I actually have a bike that's this way from Pure Cycles, where you can go on Pure Cycle and you can pick some colors of different components, seat, handlebar wraps. Like, let's see if that's attractive to an audience in golf. We ran that experiment and learned a lot, because 100% of hundreds of purchase intent visitors chose black on black on black.
Yeah.
Given all kinds of options, 100% customized for black on black on black. And we're like, okay, well, I guess we're not doing the complicated, custom style play. We'll go with black. So then we ran another series of experiments to say, okay, what's the price threshold? What clubs do people want in a set, and how much do people care about the quality of the materials, right? Because if we're trying to hit this price point for people, if we want to be this mid-market set, how much do people care about what's in it versus just how it looks? Surprisingly enough, it was a 50-50 on the quality. You actually had 50% of people willing to have garbage quality that looks really nice at a really low price. Because the experiment was basically, for half the price, we can get you something that looks the same, but it's aluminum driver and woods and zinc irons. And half the people were like, good enough. But we decided we don't want to build a garbage product. If 50% of people will pay basically twice as much for high quality materials, let's build that company. Because, you know, selling a garbage product that looks good, it's not going to be good long term.
What materials are in the high quality there? If you were saying aluminium and zinc, what's in the high quality?
Yeah, the high quality is titanium driver, stainless steel, everything else, and graphite shafts. I think in the test we also did steel shafts on the cheaper end of materials. So yeah, and that was, you know, from that point, then the challenge was, all right, can that be done? And you look at Strata. Strata's actually, you know, the 250 beginner set. It's made of good materials. So you're like, clearly you can make clubs out of quality materials at a reasonable price. So why the heck is there a gap from 250 for Strata to 2,500 for the a la carte set? Yeah. Why is it a 10x? That doesn't make any sense. And what we found is we could produce a premium material set at this middle price point like we wanted, with premium finishes, minimalist design, and get everything to a new golfer, or what we like to call the overdue upgrade golfer. You get them the whole set, bag, head, covers, a 14-piece set for under $1,000. And people continue to love it. And we have people selling our clubs that we don't have deals with. Like curated.com reached out to us and said, hey, can we do a deal? Because we got people selling your stuff already, because it's just the right answer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get people coming in like me and the guys I golfed with that we've golfed for 20 years. We're not buying a starter set.
Yeah.
Then you've got, but we're not spending $2,500 to $3,000 to $5,000, right? When you get into the big five, it's just not going to happen. So the big brands fight over, it's a $2 billion golf equipment industry in the US, which is probably bigger than that based on last year, which July 2020 golf equipment sales were up 50% year over year from 2019.
Yeah, it was crazy year, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is all the COVID effect, right?
Yeah.
So the big brands, they fight over the richest 5 million golfers, because they'll buy year over year, and they found that this whole hype the tech message is what gets these guys to upgrade every year. Rick has a great video that he did on TaylorMade drivers, where he hit the latest, greatest, which he couldn't even tell the difference between, there's two different sim versions. He's like, I don't even understand what's different about these, but they hit exactly the same. Then he hit a 3-year-old TaylorMade driver, and he's like, they picked up 2 yards, you know, 3 years of all the R&D and hype. I can get another 2 yards for the latest. So that's, you know, basically the rest of the golfers that are not the 5 million, and there's 32 million in the US, they're basically neglected. And it's like, go buy used, we don't care. Is what the message feels like from the industry. So those are the people we're trying to serve.
So, you know, you're saying there that obviously Rick's picked up like 2 yards with the newest clubs. Then from your like opinion, would you say that like the way that these companies, they must be throwing millions and millions and millions at new technology? Like, do you think that's just to sell, to oversell, more than to actually better the product?
Yeah, the whole industry, the whole culture is somewhat brainwashed that this is the only thing they understand. Right. You have to hype me on the tech, or I don't know what to buy. You know, it's, and this is kind of an interesting challenge that we have, is to somewhat re-educate people. And in some cases that's required, and some it's not, that people just don't buy into it. But man, converting someone who's bought into that, and especially if they've thrown down money into that, very difficult to convert them back. You're not getting so much lift on the tech and the hype that it's drastically improving your game. I have a neighbor, an investor. He'll be the first to say you can't buy yourself into a better golf game. I would caveat that with you probably can if you put that money into lessons.
So do you know when you're saying there technology, like your clubs have got no technology, is it, you're not obviously saying no technology, because like if you go back to a Callaway Steelhead Big Bertha and you hit it compared to like a TaylorMade or a Sim 2 with the twist face technology, like surely it counts for something. Do you know what I mean? Because I can hit them both today, and it counts for something. Do you know what I mean? So where do you border on the actual technology that you use in the clubs?
Yeah, we don't have no technology. It's just kind of like the tried and true baseline. You know, the premium materials is a big deal, and we design for forgiveness, right? We're not designing for more distance. We're not designing for workability. We're designing for 80% of golfers that's what they need. You know, 50% of golfers still shoot over 100. So to some extent, we do a very simple cavity back for all the irons, and we do a standard wedge design. And then the materials in the woods and the driver is what we think matters most. So the driver's got a beta titanium face, and the woods have 17.4 stainless steel, and the irons have 431. I think I'm saying all the right numbers, because those have been the materials that have shown over time. The 431 on the irons has the softest feel and is the most forgiving, but in the woods, that 17.4 has the most pop and feels incredible. Our hybrids and woods feel amazing. And then on the driver, what we've learned in this process is there's a lot of titaniums. You can say titanium and actually still not be very high quality, but the beta titanium is like the highest quality titanium you can put in the face. So it's not that we do no technology, but so there's definitely been technological improvements in the last decade. And so we're in that range of that technology. But at this point, what you'll hear all over the place is USGA guidelines have just kind of limited how much further it can go. The ball can only leave the face at a certain rate. And so you can't push that much further. You can move the weight around for a different fade or draw bias or a stability factor, whatever, but you can't really push the distance any further with the regulations that are in place.
Well, that was going to be the next question I was going to ask there. When you go for a fit and you can change the shafts, get a feel for what shaft suits your swing speed, ball speed. You can change the lie, the head, the loft. Do your clubs allow for that at all, changing shafts, or is it just a standard shaft that comes with a standard head?
Yeah, we don't have any adjustments on our driver or woods. We haven't had a ton of demand for it. Everybody I talk to is basically like, I wouldn't know what to do with it. And that'd be my same answer from my whole experience with golf. I'd see that thing and I may tinker with it, and it may help or it may hurt, and I wouldn't know what I'm doing. I think we're aimed at an audience that isn't going to get a fitting.
Okay.
You know, we're aimed at an audience that doesn't want this to be a complicated process. I don't want to try a bunch of things. I don't want to I don't want to go get fitted. I'm not consistent enough that I think that's going to help. And I know there's arguments on both sides of all this, but I think the people we're reaching are the people who just want it to be a simple situation. I want new golf clubs. Oh, look, I can get a whole set for under $1,000 that look amazing. Sold. and look, the reviews are great because they perform well, but it's not your gearhead. I think the gearhead is the person who's been converted to this whole other perspective. Our audience and our team, we just want to hit a fairway. We're not dialed in enough that all these little tweaks are going to get us there.
Yeah. So we've touched there slightly on the target audience. So what specifically is the target audience? And is there a specific handicap that you would say if you're at this level, or if you're shooting these particular numbers, these golf clubs are perfect for you?
Yeah. I would say we're aimed at the 100 plus, but we're good for a lot more than that. Like I said, I think we're good for 80% of golfers. If you got 50% still shooting over 100, and then we have customers with 8 handicaps. Apparently I'm an 8 handicap.
I was about to say that then,
We were talking before we started this, and I just started tracking my handicap this year. And I've always said I'm like a 27 because I kind of average bogey and a half, but I've been using the official tracker for the past month, and somehow my official handicap is now 8 or 9, which I've never, like, that's never ever happened. So I don't understand how that's true. Something about the slope or the difficulty rating of the course I'm playing. But anyways, we have a Facebook group for our customers and fans, and somebody posted on there, "Hey, I'm an 8 handicap. Are sticks going to be good enough for me?" And you had our customers just mob this guy and sell him on, I'm an 8. They're great. They're forgiving. You get the distance. You don't need all the hype. So we're good for a very broad range. Like I said, anybody who wants forgiveness and performance, because I picked up 10 yards this year with my Stix clubs on everything. I've had to adjust. Part of that's probably I'm hitting more flush. Again, we're not promising at Stix that you're going to hit 10 yards further. We're just promising they are solid quality, and you're going to love the way they feel, and they're going to be forgiving. And that's what you hear from everybody. So as far as what handicap that's aimed at, that's aimed at everybody.
One thing that I wanted to ask was, just when you're getting into that sort of market of like, actually, right, I want to start a golf club brand. When did this start, by the way? Did you tell us the year?
The idea was born in 2019 when we were golfing. We did a lot of the validation testing leading up to 2020. And in 2020, we paused the whole idea because, well, this is what happened. We ran these experiments, tons of positive response. We're getting great click-through rates, great purchase intent conversion. And it was going so well that we were like, man, let's just basically run our own Kickstarter here and just turn on pre-orders and see if people like this concept enough that they're willing to just throw down and wait 6 months for us to put this together. And that turned out to be a horrible failure. Nobody bought.
No.
And we were like, well, what's going on with that? It seemed like everybody loved this concept. They love the design, they love the price, and they love this whole concept. And so we ran more surveys on the site to learn what was holding people back. And basically people said, love the price, love the design, love this idea, but I don't trust you. Who are you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Parting with $1,000 to for thin air.
Right. It was one thing to say, I like it. It was another thing to throw down your credit card. And basically what they said is like, I search you on Facebook, I search you on YouTube, I'm looking for reviews, I don't find anything. And that was a great learning for us. So we basically paused it at that point. So we're like, okay, I get it. That makes a lot of sense. But we weren't quite ready we didn't have the resources yet to like put that together, right? We basically needed to build a PR presence, social media content. We needed to get the clubs built, and we needed to get some reviews. Like that's what we knew needed to happen.
Yeah.
That was more of a leap than we were really willing to take at that point. And it was coming right up to golf courses shutting down for COVID. So we were like, okay, shelf it. And we went on with our lives until the summer of 2020, when golf was coming back. It was the first pro sport back on TV. It was starting to pick up momentum again. And it was Alex who put together this interview. When we met, she was like, tell me about Stix. And we got to talking, and she was like, let's bring this back. Let's do this. This is great. And so from that point, we raised some money, put together a team, and we put together a 60-day plan to accomplish all those things. We need some PR coverage. We need to build social content. We need to get the clubs manufactured. We need to get some product photography. We need to redo the website. Did that in 60 days. Launched on September 1st, 2020 with 100 sets in inventory. And the goal was, if we can sell a set a day for the quarter, this will be a huge success. Yeah. And we'll keep this thing rolling. And 2 weeks later, we had to shut it down because we were out of clubs.
Wow.
No way.
Amazing.
And on the last day before we shut it down, we sold 20 sets in a day. And we were like, okay, this is going to work. Because, we were nervous coming in. We were like, last time we turned on sales, it was crickets.
Yeah.
This was all a guess. Did we build enough credibility that when we turn on sales this time, something will happen?
Yeah.
And it went bonkers. So ever since then, it's been a race to continue to build the team, raise the money, get more inventory, and keep this shit moving. And every time we set a goal, we blow through it. And every time we set a goal, half of the people say, yeah, that's cute. That's never going to happen. For instance, it was March, the last month of Q1. We said, let's set a goal of 50% month over month growth. And many of our advisors were like, yeah, you can put that in a spreadsheet, but like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. In March, instead of 50% growth, we did 170% growth.
Wow.
Nice.
So this continues to be the story. I think we've just hit a vein here, that this concept just makes so much sense to so many people. And like I said, ever since the Rick Shields video, we've had massive international demand. So our challenge just continues to be, can we keep these clubs cranking, get them in and get them out, because the demand is there.
When you're getting 100 sets manufactured, like how hands-on are you with like the testing of them, the building of them, or do you put that trust into someone else's hands?
Yeah, we went with a manufacturer that's been building clubs for decades and kind of trusted them with a lot of the quality and the details, and trusted the reviews of them. And we vetted them against a few others. And frankly, I think we got lucky and found a good one, and they did a great job and produced a great product. And one of my co-founders is a world-class industrial designer. So that was helpful to have him on the team to, cover the aesthetics, but also be able to pay attention to some of the engineering details as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's interesting you say there, Gabe, about it would suit an 8 handicap and lower, but the main market is more of the higher handicap. I'd be inclined also to think that this is a market for your very beginners as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the only reason it wouldn't be attractive to a beginner is just the price point, right? That's still a bit of a commitment if you're kind of like truly dipping a toe and you don't even know if you're going to like golf yet.
Okay.
So I guess it depends on the definition of beginner. I think once you're like, I'm in, golf's going to be a thing for me, and I want to get a set that I can use for years to come, it's great for that person. I think strata is still for the person who's like, I don't know, I just need something to get out there and see if I care.
Yeah.
And then you got all the way down to, I walked into the Play It Again Sports out here in St. Charles recently, and that is an experience of like, I actually want to buy a bunch of clubs from there just as like a history lesson in golf technology. It's kind of incredible what you see in there that brands have done and tried over time. And I asked the guy, I was like, do these actually sell? Like, this is some crazy stuff. He's like, oh, these things fly off the shelves. People come in here and buy this 20, 30-year-old stuff all the time. And
I'm not aware of what that is.
Play It Again Sports?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a thrift store for sporting goods, which is in the US pretty big, right? I'm from Seattle. I'm in Chicago now. They have them both places, which they don't even have Safeways both places. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but like, it's funny when you change geographically. Out here, you got Jewel Osco. That's not a thing. In Seattle, you got Meijer. That's not a thing. And then Fred Meyer and Safeway were the main grocery stores where I was from, and they're not even out here. But Play It Again Sports is. So Play It Again Sports, it's a great place for, you can get used hockey gear, baseball, they sell new stuff also, but yeah, you can go sell, you know, when you want to upgrade, you can go sell your old stuff and get something else from them. Snowboarding, ski, weight equipment, all that stuff.
Okay. Good.
Do you know you're saying that you were accounting for 50% growth month over month? Everyone's saying that you're dreaming on that, and then you had 170% growth. How did you deal with the sort of supply? Because you wouldn't have forecast to be selling that many clubs, would you?
Yeah, we ran out.
Simple.
Yeah, it's kind of like that first month. We were like, hey, let's sell a set a day. And then we blew it out in 2 weeks. And then we were like, well, crap, we're out of clubs. Now what?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get ahead of this thing. We're trying to honestly kind of control the demand at the moment to catch up on supply. And we're raising more money to get further ahead on supply. But that's the challenge, right? It's hard to raise money on projections that people won't believe.
Yeah.
You're like, no,
exactly.
I need tons of money for tons of clubs. And they're like, businesses don't grow that fast. You can't have that much money. And you're like, cool, give me that money. I'm going to blow it out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's the position we continue to find ourselves in. That's fine. What we don't love is unhappy customers, right? Like, people want these. We have people. So we had 170% growth month. Then the month after that, with zero inventory, all pre-order, we stayed flat, no dip, all pre-order. That's the answer right now, is we're selling them before we have them, which customers are doing and agreeing to. But I think you mentioned a bit ago, you wanted to talk about supply chain stuff. The unfortunate thing about the pre-orders is to the parcel. So when you say, hey, pre-order now, you're going to get it X, we've fallen short of those promises a few times. And we've tried to be as transparent with our customers as possible and proactive in our communications, but it's never a happy situation. And we legitimately care a lot about our customers, and we don't like being in that position. So we're trying to get ourselves out of that position and take as good a care of people as we can along the way.
Well, I don't think you're alone in that department either, because I've ordered clubs from TaylorMade, and they were meant to come on the 17th of May, and then they come on the 17th of May, but they're not getting built till the 4th of June. So it's like, I think the whole golf industry world is backed up.
Yeah. And TaylorMade still sold for 1.6 billion. So
exactly. Yeah.
I guess it's not a deal breaker, huh?
No, exactly. Yeah, no.
Not when you're talking them numbers.
So do you know, you've got Stix coming through, up and coming sort of golf brand. Is there any other up and coming, like your competition sort of thing? Because I know Kirkland are coming with like a bit of a more budget range in Costco and stuff, aren't they? So have you got competition out there? Like, it's quite refreshing to see a new brand. I've never actually heard of it. Many new brands popping up.
Yeah, there's some, but I think they're taking a different angle at it. I think a lot of them are trying to be boutique, which is fine. Some are aimed at beginners. Some are aimed at, I don't know if there's anybody directly coming at this mid-market in the same way. There's a handful. Some of them have been around for a long time, and we're actually catching up fast. And some of them are new, and they're just not being as aggressive. They're staying more boutique for one reason or another. And then I think you just mentioned Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've gotten into putters and wedges. I don't know that they have plans to get into full sets. We've actually been in talks with them about carrying sticks. So they're still in the game of carrying other set companies. Right now they carry the Callaway Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk quickly about the different ranges that you have, because obviously ladies playing is different to the way men play, and you've got older gentlemen playing, older women playing, on all swings are different. Do you have a different range and a different model for specific genders and specific age groups?
We just have height and flex options, which again, I live by the 80-20 rule. I always forget how to pronounce it. The Pareto principle. You guys familiar with this?
Yeah.
I'm not. Kev will be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's many things in life that 20% of the effort will get you 80% of the way there. And it takes the other 80% of the effort to close on that last 20%. And that's kind of like, that's how I operate generally. And you could look at Stix like that in a lot of ways, right? Like it takes 80% of the effort to get those extra 2 yards that TaylorMade got over 3 years, right? It's all the money and effort into R&D to get those 2 more yards, right? So what if Stix loses you 2 yards, but guess what? You get it for a third of the price. Can you live without those 2 yards?
I can't.
I definitely can't.
And it's likely that Stix is not losing you any yards. And we always like to say, how much are you willing to pay to hit it further out of bounds? Which is just kind of a joke about our demographic. It's like, I don't want to hit it further. I just want to get it in the dang fairway.
Yeah.
So Pareto principle around reaching a broad audience, we carry standard height plus half, plus inch, minus half, minus inch in stiff, regular, and A flex. With that, we reach a very broad audience.
Yeah.
We become accessible for men, women, men, women, senior, and we say teen, right? This isn't going to be your junior set, but once a kid hits 5 feet, like my sons play, and they can play the -1 inch A flex. Good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, the first 3 sets we ever sold were to a dad bought 3 sets, 1 for his dad and 2 for his 18 and 19-year-old sons. And this is when we only had regular flex, standard height, and all those customers love the clubs.
What sort of reception have you had have you had any reception of other brands around? Have you had any sort of like conflict or anything, or you just moseyed in there nicely?
Yeah, no conflict to date. You know, I always wonder how much we're on people's radars or not.
Yeah.
We may be flying under the radar, or people may know and not care, or know and care and haven't done anything yet. So we'll see what happens, but no negative conflict. And then we did get some love from an outdoor apparel company who sent us a message. It was like, hey, check it out. I love your clubs. We're using them in our marketing material. So it's called Duck something. It's like an outdoor hunting, but just kind of hunting and fishing apparel. But, you know, you think about guys who hunt and fish, a lot of times they golf also. And so in a lot of their marketing material, they're holding Stix clubs. And so we bought a bunch of their stuff too to use in our photo shoots. So a little bit of brand love going on there. And then we got some brands that we always talk about that we feel like are similar to Stix in their approach to golf. We like True Links shoes. Have you guys heard of those?
No.
So it's a smaller shoe company. It's not Nike, Adidas, or Puma, but it's specifically golf shoes out of the Northwest. So it's, again, I think they started as like, there's not a lot of super comfortable and very waterproof golf shoes. And there's a Pacific Northwest group of guys that were like, I want to be comfortable and not have wet feet on the course. So like they designed shoes around that. And I don't know how big they've gotten, but we like these younger brands that are coming into golf that are just different than what you typically see from a style perspective, from a story perspective. I'm trying to think if True Links is actually on anyone on the tour. And then you got apparel companies like Bad Birdies. They got funded on Shark Tank, and they make just more fun young polos. Yeah. So anybody who's kind of like trying to come into golf and say, you know, golf historically has been this, let's do something different. And especially for the millennial consumer and a lot of people who just don't think golf is an option because it's A, B, or C, whether it's too old, too rich, too white, too exclusive, too whatever. We love the brands who are saying, no, golf is just fun. And it's a great way to spend time with friends outdoors. And it's for everybody. Tall, short, all colors, all ages. Let's all get out there and have fun. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we're trying to do something similar ourselves with it. We're making a clothing brand as well to go along with the podcast, and we're trying to make it more like where it's just more fashionable, more stylish. This is actually the logo here. Once we get a few done, we'll send some out to you so you can have a little look at them. But as you say, as exactly what you said there, which is something a bit more refreshing, a bit more stylish, and sort of corner that side of the market. So that's the aim.
Yeah, we've got your traditional golfer who wants to go straight from the 18th into the pub and have a drink with the friends, and they won't look out of place with the style of clothes that we're trying to create.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? How, I mean, I'll go golfing in the morning and I'll feel weird all day if I'm still wearing it, because I'm wearing golf stuff. Even though it's like an athletic, like a Nike polo, I still feel like everybody knows I went golfing. You know?
Yeah.
This is going to be untuck your top and you wouldn't even know you'd been there.
Yeah. And, you know, the unfortunate thing is that there's still some courses where you literally can't wear what you want.
Yeah.
And so it's like, as much as there may be a movement of apparel companies that would love, or brands like us that would love to change that, you literally can't walk on some courses wearing what you want, which is unfortunate.
We had that last year when Tyrrell Hatton started wearing the hoodie. There was a bit of commotion over wearing a hoodie for golf, and then you've got the likes of your Nike bringing the trainee style, sneaker style shoe into a golf shoe, and what is golf becoming? But again, it's just making the sport more inclusive, isn't it?
Totally. I golfed in Denver with a bunch of guys last week, and a couple of them had the Jordan golf shoes. Have you seen those?
Yeah, seen them. Yeah.
Awesome. I also saw, I think it was a little Instagram ad the other day that said turn any shoe into a golf shoe, and it basically would take a golf spike and you just screw it into places so you could wear whatever. And I was like, brilliant. Imagine that in golf.
So what's the future hold then? Obviously, it's great to hear about Stix and the journey so far. Demand as high as you've told us. So what does the future hold? Are you going to continue on the path that you're going in the market and the audience that you're looking to go, or will as it grows, are you looking to branch out to make more of an elite club?
We're going to stay the course until we can catch up with demand, and then we'll diversify. As much as we hear from our customers that's what they want to see.
Okay.
So right now we just launched V2, which was we went from a 12-piece set to a 14-piece set, because what we heard from customers was, the biggest thing we heard was, I need a gap wedge. This gap between my pitch and my sand is like is too large, and I need something to fill it.
Yeah.
And then we heard, hey, it's a 12-piece set, so it's not a complete set. You need 14 clubs to make a complete set. And so we came out with 14-piece. We also heard, hey, I wish this finish was a little more durable. So we moved from PVD to a DLC. We moved to a matte finish. And we also heard, hey, I wish I had head covers. I wish I had a bag. Boom, boom, boom. Now we've got 14-piece set, DLC, head cover, and bag. And then right now we're working on towels. We actually just did a survey asking people, hey, what else do you want? And so we heard towels, gloves, balls, ball markers, divot tools, the brush tool. So basically anything that's on a bag at this point feels like something we should provide.
There'll definitely be umbrellas when you come to the UK as well.
You guys just play through the rain all the time?
All the time.
Wow. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah. And then, if we get a large enough demand for, hey, I have a Stix set. I feel like I want to upgrade my driver because I really think I need a draw bias, and I need something that is a draw bias or has a weight slider, or say it's I can only use a 9-degree driver. I can't do this 10.5. If we hear that enough, we'll provide that for our customers, especially if they're like, I want to stay with Stix. I do customer interviews all the time. Anybody who's bought with us, we reach out and say, hey, we'd love to talk to you. We do something like this. And I ask them a lot, where do you think Stix fits in your golf journey? Is this your forever set? Is this your step along the way, and you do want to go into the more expensive, more complicated stuff at some point? And they may just tell me what I want to hear because we're on a call, but they have said, hey, if I were to want to get an upgraded driver at some point, I wish I could do that with Stix.
Yeah,
because you get a whole Stix set, everything you need for under $1,000. when the day comes to upgrade your driver, it's going to be like $500 for that one club. So if our customers want it, we'll do it for them. I think going head to head out to market with a more expensive driver may be a tough sell. So we'll see how we play that. But for now, what I want to get people is, like I said, everything that goes on a bag. And I also want to do like a subscription membership where we can do a dozen balls a month for $20. And every month you get something extra in the box, like a towel, a glove, a ball marker tool. So like within a year, you'll get all those things and use that membership as a way to get those customers as much benefit as we can. Can we put a little business card stack of deals in that box as well for like a free round at Top Golf, a discount on True Links shoes, make it kind of like a discovery tool that they can find other cool brands and discounts through the subscription. Even if we could, we had, I have a relationship with a course out here that owns 200 other courses. Can I get them to offer the Stix membership, a handful of discounted rounds a year, or maybe an ongoing discount at any of those 200 courses? Imagine you get a few of those going, even a top, an ongoing deal with Top Golf, an ongoing deal with 5-Iron. If we get enough of a membership, we'll have some buying power to convince some of these other brands to hook up this membership. And being a membership that is buying Stix because they're cost conscious, I would imagine that, additional cost savings would be of value to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on month 2, you might get a Perion hat from us with your deal.
There you go.
There you go, indeed, yeah.
What I was going to say there, Gabe, when you're talking about upgrading your driver, these days there's that much numbers. People aren't just going out and buying the £500 driver. Well, most of the time, especially if you get to a lower handicap, just because it's the new driver, they're only changing when the numbers are better on the TrackMan. So obviously, if a Stix customer takes the Stix and they go and they get it on the TrackMan and they try another one against it and they're getting better numbers, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? So then maybe for yourself or for other people to try the Stix against a few others and do some comparison, because then you might not find the numbers are that much better. It could be a good little advertising tool.
That's the thing, right? Rick Shields did that, and he hit our driver 300 yards. And we had, the other review we have on our site is Garrett Clark, GM Golf, who did the same thing. He tested Stix, all the clubs, against 3 other top brands, and outcome was it performs just as well. So to some extent, it's probably off brand to even offer. I think the only thing it would offer is if you want to adjust the loft angle or some kind of weight for draw or fade bias.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't really be a performance play. It would be, do you need the adjustments? If you need the adjustments, we can do that at a higher price. And maybe if we did that, we probably want to give people the option on a set to like upgrade it in the set with their purchase and not have to do the whole upgrade later.
Yeah.
But I would assume, we're all about iterate, test, learn, experiment. I'd be curious how that would go. How many people would upgrade to something with adjustments just because they think that's important, or seems premium, whether they would ever shift those things or not, or if it would be a very small percentage that are the ones who know how to use those adjustments and know what they want to do with them. I just fixed my fade the other day from a tip from a friend to just grip my right hand pinkies harder. Like if these were loose, it was fading. And if I just gripped harder with my right hand, straighten things out. So that's the funny thing about the weight adjustments and things. It's like, yeah, you can shift stuff around on the club, but you can also probably adjust something with your swing.
Oh, definitely.
Is that why you're down to 8, is it? A stronger pinky?
I guess.
So have you got any plans to obviously get the international manufacturer on the go? Like, are we going to be able to try Stix anytime soon over here? Like, what's the crack?
For sure. Yeah. Hoping to get some inventory over to the UK and the EU this summer so that the audience that wants them, like we have a massive email list already of abandoned carts and people who've signed up to hear when they're over there. because like I said, we can get them there now. It's just expensive with shipping and import taxes. So we're having to change some logistics to make it a reasonable price. But we would love to get them in the hands of our UK and EU fans without all that additional cost. So hopefully this summer, and if it goes well, then hopefully we can keep that momentum going with the audience over there.
Yeah, well, you've definitely got a couple of fans in us. I say I've got a couple of friends who've been itching to get into the game for so long, and they've just never actually done that. So maybe this is the way in for them. Yeah.
Would love to get some in your guys' hands and your buddies' hands and everybody over there. I assume your audience for this podcast is it pretty heavily UK?
Yeah, it is mostly UK. Yeah, but we do have a large audience in America as well. To be honest.
I think there was like 67 countries on the list last time we looked. We were like, what the hell is someone in Zimbabwe listening to us for?
Yeah. I know it's always fun when we look at our map too, to see where the interest is coming from.
You just don't know, do you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You guys have asked a few times about, like, people always ask target demographic, age, geography, whatever. And you're like, you aim at one thing and you get quite the spray pattern,
Yeah.
The audience that resonates the most and converts the best with us is 25 to 45-year-old males in the US, but you also get everybody. We've also talked about like the people shooting over 100 tends to be the target, but like I said, we get down to 8 handicaps, those real premier golfers with the 8 handicap.
I'll take that. I'm climbing up to 7 now. So
climbing up?
Yeah.
You were better than 7?
I was, yeah.
Wow.
He was a child prodigy superstar, college in America. Now he's slowly creeping his way up to double figures.
There you go. Yep. Now you're in range. Once you hit 8, you're in range.
Perfect. I'll work on it.
No, but Gabe, it's been great chatting to you. Is there anything else that you want to add?
I guess, just so the audience knows, it's Stix Golf is where you can find these. Yeah. And like I said, we're hoping to get distribution in the UK and the EU soon. In the meantime, for the US audience, V2s are in pre-order and we're hoping to deliver them in June. And, the sooner you get your orders in, the closer you'll be to the front of the line for fulfillment. So thanks everybody for your interest in Stix. And we hope to continue to deliver the highest quality product we can at this mid price point and make golf more accessible and fun for everybody.
Yeah. And what's the social media tags as well?
Social media is Stix Golf Gear on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Cool.
Lovely.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
No, look, thanks, Gabe. Appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. Can't wait to see the journey and see how it all unfolds. We'll definitely be keeping an eye and keeping an interest in the stuff that you're doing.
Awesome. Appreciate
it. If you're
ever
over in the UK, hit us up. We'll go for the game.
Sounds good. Yeah, my wife keeps hoping that Stix is going to bring us over to the UK.
Yeah.
I'll get off that continent.
That's right. We need to get to China and we need to get to the UK. So we're going to have to put together a little world tour here.
That's it. We'll keep the bogey boys on the list.
Yeah, keep the bogey boys informed, mate, and we'll get out on the links and we'll have a game. Good catch up.
Let's do it in the rain.
Yeah, of course.
That's
yeah.
It. Bring your brolly.
Bring my brelly. I will. I think we're going to call our product brelly when we sell it now.
Brilliant. There you go. Look, cheers, mate. Appreciate you
taking
the time
Thanks
to speak
very much,
to us, and we'll catch up very soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
No, mate.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, is he on the sink.